What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. On today's show, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently than we normally do. I'm going to be doing something today that may just end up being a huge mistake, but we'll find out together. I'm Mighty Joe, and you're watching. Once again, friends, welcome back to another exciting episode of Brick by Brick with Mighty Joe. On today's show, we won't be building and reviewing any products, but we will be doing a bit of house cleaning, a bit of rearranging, remodeling, if you will. We're coming to you live from the Brick by Brick building studio, also known as my garage. Since the weather's gotten a little cooler here in San Antonio, Texas, I decided to go ahead and move my collection out to the garage so that I can build in front of it like I had always intended. I was starting my videos on a huge table in front of my collection in the living room, and it just got to be too tedious moving the table in and out. When I bought this backdrop, I decided to go ahead and start building in the garage, and I would build mostly in the mornings, and if it got too hot, I would call it and just move on. It's starting to get a lot cooler in the mornings and not so hot during the day, although I'm sure we still have plenty of 100-degree days out in front of us. I am in an insulated garage. However, it is a garage and there is no air conditioning vent, and one of the doors doesn't open and the other one's cracked out. It's not ideal. But I am running out of room in the house to put these builds, and I need to come up with a solution. So the solution is moving out here and buying more shelves to create more of a studio area. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. When watching one of my build and review videos, this is traditionally what you see. Me seated in the studio at the build table in my $20 marketplace chair, building and reviewing a set for you. What you don't see is the rest of the room. So yeah, movie magic, everybody. And I'm not ashamed to show this. It's a garage. This is exactly what you use a garage for. I've taken everything and moved it into the corner where the door doesn't open. And I've got my kids' bikes and Power Wheels over here. And this is where the magic happens. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get rid of my box of graveyard boxes, or my stack of graveyard boxes, find a new place for that, and then put my shelves along here, possibly with the backdrop still in the middle, over this little white shelf here that'll be behind me, just to try and give it more of a professional look. We do rent this house, so unfortunately I can't enclose the garage like I would like to, but my lawnmower would get lonely if I took it out of the house. So yeah, this is the video where it's going to happen, and I've been wanting to do a video like this for a while, but problem was it's just been too hot. I'm afraid that the 100-degree weather is going to affect the builds, peel the stickers, all that stuff. So over the winter time, I do plan to get an AC unit put in here so that I can at least cool the garage down while I'm not here in the main part of the day. So yeah, let's take a look inside the house and see where everything sits currently. So here in the living room, you can see the 4 main shelves. It's amazing to think I started with 2 shelves. Actually, I started with 1 shelf, a brown shelf on the other side of the room, and then things got serious. But this is where I have everything in the living room, and to be honest, as much as I love it, I feel like it does clutter the living room. I've even had to go over to the side on the DVD shelves and put some builds over here. Our little fireplace heater also inherited some builds. Even the table that's supposed to be filled with pictures ended up getting builds on it. We bought a shelf for the kitchen to put all our excess tumblers on, and yeah, you guessed it, my daughter and I have added to it. Even my coffee stand is not immune to new sets. I just have nowhere to put them. So needless to say, I've got a big job ahead of me. I've been going through a little something right now, and I don't know. I haven't really felt like building because I don't have anywhere to put the builds. Um, Moving everything out here is not going to completely solve that. I still need to buy at least 4 more shelves to kind of make a horseshoe shape. That's the idea I have for the studio, so that I can start putting things in there and finally get them out of the house. We can get the house back to a normal functioning looking living room again, especially with Christmas coming up. The tree goes where those shelves are. My wife said that we could work it out and figure out a way to get it all in there. I don't want to have to figure it out. I want to be able to put the tree where it goes. You know, put that fireplace you saw next to it, buy some new stocking holders, and get ready for the Christmas season. So I can get more Lego, more building sets. But yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So I hope you stick around all the way to the end. Like the video, share with your friends. Comment down below. Do you think it's a bad idea? Do you think it's a good idea? How does everything look? And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel, and we can bring you loads of more building content. All right, without further ado, let's get busy. So the first thing I needed to do was clear everything out from the space I needed to put the shelves in, move everything out of the way, take down the backdrop, and move all these boxes to the kitchen. I still can't believe that really big box was for that little bitty set. But yeah, that was the first step. Next came cleaning up the floor, getting all the dust and dirt, anything that had accumulated around the build area out of the way. All right, so I've had a bit of a tidy up. Got the area ready. I'm going to put the first shelf there, 2 shelves there. I'm going to move this shelf to the center. I'm thinking with the backdrop behind it, so there's a little space behind me, and then the other 2 shelves. And then the plan is to come out this way with 2 more shelves on each side. I'd like to have 3 more shelves, but they're $36 each, and I don't even know when I'm going to be able to get those. But that'll create like a room within a room. And so the next step is going to be removing all the sets from the shelves in the living room and bringing them out here. Don't judge me. And figuring out what we're going to do with all of the graveyard boxes. I'm thinking of maybe clearing off this shelf and putting the boxes here. But, well, son, I'm sorry. Wow, there's a heck of an echo in here. And then won't be able to move that stuff over here because the shelves are going to be right up against my DJ equipment. So I guess we'll figure out what's going to happen. Let's go move some sets. So here I am starting to move all the sets over to the build table in the garage. And I tell you what, moving these things was so effortless, being that the bigger sets were on Mills plates. I didn't realize how many tiny little sets there were until I got to the retro shelf. But I got everything moved over, then grabbed my trusty dolly and moved the shelf. Each time I bring a shelf in, I'm going to be wiping it down to make sure it's as clean as can be, and then dust every piece before I put it back on the shelves. I'm doing this with a Dollar Tree makeup brush, which is really ideal for getting into all the nooks and crannies of these sets. I do have a micro vacuum that I use on bigger sets that are dirtier, but I really don't use it that often because I don't really have dirty sets because I keep on top of cleaning them. I did a video review of it and I purchased it at Five Below. You can check out that review, it's in my channel. It was almost time to move the Apocalypseburg, so I had to say a little prayer to make sure I didn't drop it. But it turned out even without a mill's plate, it was pretty easy to move. I moved my little inventory shelf over and thought about putting Apocalypseburg there, but then decided against it. I'm still on the fence on whether or not to do that, and I almost forgot to hang up my backdrop, so I'm glad I remembered. You know, I'm mostly into modular buildings, so that's why I'm so surprised that I got so into Speed Champions and other little cars. I don't know, they kind of grew on me, and I'm amassing quite a collection. I did have a tile fall off the roof of the Factory House of Music, so I had to put that back on and then dust it off. I've got that one up on a plate along with the Underground Dance Battle set, so they're all on one Mills plate. Looks pretty cool. Finally, on our last shelf, as I take away the Griswold house and the Steampunk Trading Center, along with Assembly Square, my food truck park, and the troop carriage from Lumibricks. Get all that dusted off, wiped off, and set up in its new home. Alright guys, so we're done with the move. I now have everything out here. Well, not everything. Everything that was on that one wall out here in the studio. So it'll look a little different going forward with the videos that I make. You'll know which ones were done before September 11th, 2025. Because they'll all be either really old videos of me on the big table with the black tablecloth, or the ones with me in front of the building brick background. So I managed to get everything over here pretty easily, dusted everything off, cleaned all the shelves again, kind of had a bit of a rearrange. I did find where to put all of my fun hole boxes. I just can't bring myself to throw those away. They're so sturdy and rugged, and the manuals are so nice. I may get rid of the Lego boxes and alt brand boxes, but for now I'll find another place to store them. I did have a bit of an accident. I don't know if you caught it in the speed time lapse, but when I was moving the Twilight Motel, the battery pack fell off the back of it and ripped the wire out, so I'm going to have to find another wire in my extras, which just means I'll have to get another one later when I try to build my city. As I said before, a lot of this shelf space is going to open up once I move all of the modulars to a city, but you've seen the rest of this garage, and until I can find a way to store all the extra stuff that's in here, I can't really set out a city layout just yet. But yeah, it looks real good. Along with the Twilight Motel battery box popping off, we also had a casualty of the little palm tree, but that's going to be an easy fix. No biggie. So here's where you guys can help me out. Down in the comments below, I need your advice. I'm not too certain on the placement of the RVs and this stuff here over my inventory shelf. It's so tiny. I was going to put the Apocalypseburg there, but I also need to bear in mind that when I have my table here and I'm doing the review, whatever's there is going to be in the background of the product I'm reviewing. So I don't know. I thought about putting Apocalypseburg there. I thought about putting my food truck park there. That would free up some space here for other items. There are still a lot of items left in the living room because I just don't have extra shelves. Once I start building the shelves outwards, I'll be able to move some of the stuff. But for now, this is where we're at. Not a bad afternoon's worth of work, if you ask me. But let me know in the comments down below, what would you put on that middle shelf? All right, friends, that's going to do it for this episode of Brick by Brick with Mighty Joe, the remodeling edition. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and smash that like button, share it with your friends, comment down below, let me know about the placement of that food truck park or whatever you think should go on the shelf behind me. And if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and don't forget, when life starts getting you down, just like me, just take it brick by brick. See ya!